Today, I want to briefly talk to you about hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. We regularly see car makers like Toyota, Hyundai, Honda, and now Vauxhall, who have a hydrogen fuel cell offering. Some comments here and online forums often cite hydrogen as having many advantages over battery electric vehicles. However, I thought it is a good reminder to viewers not to be too swayed by its pros and be more concerned with its cons. First up, the benefits. Being able to refill within 3 minutes emulates what petrol and diesel consumers are used to. Hydrogen is an abundant element, meaning that fuel supplies are, in theory, limitless. When compared to standard petroleum products, hydrogen is more powerful and energy efficient. It's potentially a clean form of transport with zero tailpipe emissions if renewable power is used in electrolysis and well-to-wheel methods of hydrogen delivery. However, hydrogen can be produced from fossil fuels, such as natural gas reforming, coal gasification, and biomass gasification, all of which are harmful to our environment and warm the globe. And so it's no surprise that these guys seem so eager to convince governments and you that hydrogen is good fuel for the reasons I've already stated. Why are they doing that? Because battery electric vehicles are gobbling up their profits. This infographic by Statista shows the number of electric cars, vans and trucks and buses expected to grow from 11 million in 2021 to 145 million by 2030. That will mean global oil markets worth billions of dollars are set to be wiped out. Shell, BP, Ampol and more know that if they don't transition to hydrogen fuel or electricity for chargers, they'll see their profits shrink and oil production plummet by 2 million fewer barrels per day, which will thankfully mean a saving of 120 million tonnes of carbon dioxide. What else is a con? Hydrogen is explosive and needs careful handling during transport and storage. Another issue is that it's very leaky. That is, it doesn't like being contained, which is why hydrogen fuel cell tanks are designed to contain highly pressurized hydrogen, which, by the way, ideally should be kept at negative 135 degrees Celsius, which is why fueling infrastructure is crazy expensive. How expensive? About $2 million per pump. 2 million. Australia has 6,400 service stations, so multiply that by 6 hydrogen pumps per service station and the potential bill could be $86 billion. No problem, I hear you say, but do you think that these companies will pay for that on their own? No, of course they won't. Even though last year in Australia alone, they received more than $29 billion in subsidies. That's tax not paid, folks. They still cry to mummy, asking for another spare billion or two to keep motorists going. Mark my words, if we switch to hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, we'll continue paying for it in many, many unhappy years to come. Which brings me to my next con. Getting hydrogen to fuel pumps, what has to happen? You need to copy what fossil fuel companies have tied motorists to for more than a century. You need massive plant equipment, pipelines, trucks, all to shift it around, and then you need to store it locally. Think of all that wasted energy. Compare that to running an electric vehicle. See how much simpler it is? And if you're fortunate enough to have home solar, you can cut out the middleman altogether. Finally, and the one which I want everyone to remember is this. The amount of energy required to propel a car forwards. Hydrogen cars use twice as much electricity per kilometre than battery electric vehicles. They are inefficient and they're costly to refuel. So, if you still like the idea of hydrogen for transport use, I ask you, do you love the inconvenience of filling up at a gas station instead of one of a bazillion power points? Do you enjoy driving a vehicle that is inefficient, costs more to run, and even more to service? And do you like supporting fossil fuel companies who don't pay this much tax per minute? There will most likely be a place for hydrogen in commercial sectors like long-haul air travel, shipping and the like. But as batteries become more energy dense and can take you further on one charge, and people come to understand that an EV can be charged anywhere, I doubt we'll see hydrogen fuel cell vehicles on our roads. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, share it on your socials, think about supporting the channel on Patreon. Otherwise, you be good, you be green.